The cord kept going out.
We're rolling, Norman. Okay, this is the Herbie Mann interview, Newport Jazz Festival 1989. Herb, tell us, is it Herbie or Herb? Which you prefer?
Whatever you want to call me.
All right, hey you.
Okay.
Herb, tell us a bit about the history and the role of the flute in jazz music.
Well, Wayman Carver in the 30s played with the Chick Webb Band. And after that, Harry Clee played with the Fillmore Band in the 40s. And then Sam Most was the first one that recorded modern music in the early 50s. And then in about 1951, I and Bud Shank and Frank West independently all started improvising on it.
Herbie, you've appeared at Newport before. Can you tell us about the event and why it's so central in the jazz world?
Well, you know, it's a party. Everybody...
Newport's a party. Ready? Go.
Newport is a party. You have everybody coming out wanting to have a good time. You have a preconditioned audience that's happy. And because of it, the music is the same way.
Herbie, along with a handful of other leaders like Miles and Blakely, they come to mind first of all, you've introduced and shaped many of today's star musicians. How do you initially recognize these young talents?
When I hear them playing, I get goosebumps.
I recognize young talent. Ready?
Oh, really? Okay.
Go, babe.
I know when I hear young talent, if they give me goosebumps and makes me want to hear them play, I'm going to hire them in my band. I did it the first time I heard Roy Ayers, first time I heard Chick Corea. I knew it.
Herbie, long before today's popular world music movement, you were traveling the globe and interacting with the musicians of many other countries. Tell us about that, won't you?
Well, you know, I just finally, in the 50s, I thought that bebop and jazz that was being played at the time was, I find it similar to eating steak and potatoes every night. It gets pretty boring. So I was looking for some spices to my music and to my food. Go to Africa, Central America, South America, the Middle East, Jamaica. You're going to hear all kinds of interesting variations. And I just didn't see myself denying myself those pleasures.
Herbie, how does the popular Brazilian music in particular shape up with the sound of jazz?
Well, you know, it's jazz is a very diverse thing. I feel as long as you improvise, no matter what the rhythm section is playing, as long as you improvise, it's that jazz for the moment. Brazilian music has the advantage of having great harmonic melodies to play on, along with great rhythms.
Herbie, who are the people that have influenced you in the music world?
Miles, Ravel, Bill Evans.
Excuse me, you started with most of the people that have influenced.
Okay.
Ready? Go, Herbie.
The people I listened to that influenced me in the beginning and now, I would say Ray Charles, Miles Davis, Ravel. Played good piano. He didn't work too much, but he had played good piano. The Impressionist composers, ethnic music, wherever it is, Lester Young, Charlie Parker, etc., etc.
What does your appearance at the Newport Jazz Festival mean to you personally and professionally?
Well, it's the first time I've been back here at the festival since George Williams at JVC took it over again, and it's like kind of a comeback for me. Even though I've played in between all these years, it's nice to get back in the major leagues.
Herbie, you've been extremely successful in many musical realms. To you, what are the most important differences between, say, pop and jazz?
In jazz, the rhythm sections are better.
What goes through your head when you're playing in front of 10,000 people that we have here today?
I just hope we play well. I don't, you know, if you feel the audience, then it affects the way you play. In a large situation like this, I always feel there should be a monitor and speakers and microphones out in the audience so I can hear them as well as they can hear me.
This is a loaded question.
Okay.
A couple seasons ago, we had Jerry Mulligan on the show, and he was very strong about the electronic influence in jazz. In fact, he was violent about it. I find that many of the old-timers, not necessarily senior members of the music world, but many of the old-timers are against the electronic influence, the fusion movement into jazz, the young people. How do you feel about the electronic movement into jazz?
Well, you know, for me, there's many different ways to play and use electronics. I'm sure there was a time when the musicians said, it's terrible we're using microphones, or it's terrible we're using electric pianos. Anything new is going to be a threat to anybody that has based their whole life on a certain way of playing. I think everything can be used in moderation, and I think I have heard some wonderful electronic music, and I've heard some terrible acoustic music. It's the player, it's the music. I personally will try anything at least twice.
Herbie, when did you start? What was your early background in the music world?
My mother took me to see Benny Goodman in 1939 at the Paramount, and I had a clarinet 2 weeks later.
What's ahead for Herbie Mann?
Keep on working, keep on playing. I'm moving to Santa Fe in 2 weeks, and hope to enjoy my life.
Thank you, Herbie Mann.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Herbie. We'll use 30 seconds.